Okay, so we're moving on to practice with these reflections. So for number one, so we have Tessa, first of all. She has reflected the pre-image. I know this is the pre-image because there's no prime notation. This is the image over here after the reflection because we have the little prime notation marks. Okay, so she reflected it over the y-axis. So that's what happened. Number one. So Tessa can use her graph to find the coordinates of the vertices. How could she have found these coordinates without drawing the reflection? So this is when we think about how do we do this mathematically? I'm reflecting over y, which means I'm moving from left to right. Left and right only affects the x value. This shape did not get any higher or lower, so my y values are exactly the same. Now, what we always like to do is we're going to list the ordered pairs. So G, H, I, J. They did not provide them, so we have to get really good at coordinate plane. So G is at 1, 5. H is at 1, 2, 3, 3. I is at 5, 4. And J is at 2, 0. And remember, X comes first, Y comes second. I'm not moving up or down, so my Y values are going to be exactly the same. So G prime, H prime, J prime. Oh, that should be I prime, J prime. My Y values are the same. So for G, Y is going to stay 5. For H, it's going to stay 3. For I, it's going to stay 4. And for J, it's going to say 0. Now, I did move to the left, so only my X values are affected. And since it's a reflection, my X values become their opposite. Because in quadrant 1, everything is positive. In quadrant 2, X's are negative. Y's are positive. So all my X's are now just going to become their opposite. They're going to be negative. So G prime is negative 1, H prime is negative 3, I prime is negative 5, and J prime is negative 2. I'm going to look at the graph to make sure. G was 1, now it's negative 1. H was 3, now it's negative 3. Okay, so the X's become their opposite. That's how you can do that without graphing. Number 2, Jabari draws this figure, the pre-image. He wants to reflect it across the x-axis. I'm going to stop right there and draw in my line of reflection. So since it's here, I am reflecting from up to down. It will end up in quadrant 4, which means x's are positive, y's are negative. Okay, draw the dashed line. Already did it. Show where he would draw the figure. I think that means they want us to draw the figure. So J's not moving. So J and J prime are in the same spot because they're on the x-axis. H is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, H prime. I is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, I prime. G is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is G prime. So this is where it ends up, down here. And that's part B. Number 3, we're reflecting over X. I'm going to draw that in, which means I'm moving from up to down. Tell whether each statement is true. Now remember, I'm moving up and down, and this is Q4. So X's are positive, Y's are negative. In quadrant 1, everything's positive. So X's are going to be the same, Y's are going to be, excuse me, Y's are going to be opposite. I think it's a good idea to write all the ordered pairs, but let's see if we can do this without doing that. L is located at negative 3, 4. L is at 3, 4. And when I reflect it, is the X going to be negative? No, the Y is. So I didn't really have to find the ordered pair. M prime is located 1 unit below the X-axis. M is 1 unit above, so yes, M prime is 1 unit below. That is a true statement. The Y coordinate of K is the opposite, of K prime is the opposite of the Y coordinate of K. So yes, Y's become their opposite because Y's were positive and now they're negative. That's a true statement. And I'm just going to pause for a moment. X, same, Y, opposite, which will be negative. This will be positive, just so I don't have to keep looking so closely. The line of reflection is the Y-axis. No, it's the X-axis. Line segment N prime will be the same as NM. Yes, because it's the same size and shape. They have to be the same. The X coordinate of N is the opposite. No, X's are the same. Angle J prime equals angle J. Yes, same size and shape. All the angles have to be the same. Number 4, we have a preimage. She reflects it over Y. We're going to draw that in. We're moving from left to right. So what does that mean? Left to right affects X. So X will become the opposite. Y will stay the same. We start in Q3, where everything is negative, and we're moving to Q4, where X's are positive and Y's are negative. So our X's are going to become positive. Y's will stay negative. Doug incorrectly says the coordinates of Q prime are negative 3, 2. Are negative 3, 2. What is the correct answer? And how might he have gotten his answer? Okay, so the correct answer for Q prime, Q is negative 3, negative 2. It's in quadrant 3, so everything is negative, right? We're moving to quadrant 4, so the X needs to be positive. So Q prime, that negative 3 is now a 3. The Y is going to stay the same. So Y is now, Y stays negative 2. So he had the opposite. He changed the X instead of the Y. Now, what did he do wrong? How could he have gotten that answer? Where is the point negative 3, 2? Let me switch colors here. The point negative 3, 2 is up here. So what did he do wrong when he reflected? Well, he reflected over X. Because this is 1, 2, 1, 2. So Doug we know he did. Doug reflected over the Y-axis instead of the X-axis. That was his mistake, and that happens a lot. Number 5. So we have the coordinates of triangle VWX and its image after a reflection. So let's see what's happening. Here, everything is positive. So it started off in quadrant 1. After the reflection, our X's are negative. Our Y's are positive. That is negative X, positive Y is quadrant 2. What do you notice when you compare corresponding X coordinates? They become their opposite. X values become their opposite. So what's going to get me from quadrant 1 to quadrant 2? Let me change colors here. What's going to get me... Switch colors, please. Let's do blue. I'm from quadrant 1 to quadrant 2. What did I reflect over? Anytime I move left to right, I'm reflecting over the Y-axis. So that's that. You don't actually have to do the reflection. You can just look at the pattern of your points and see which one is becoming its opposite to figure out which way it moved, which will help you solve the problem.